Okay, some more percentage questions, and we're going to read through this question together. The recommended daily intake of saturated fat for an adult is 20 grams. A normal serving of camembert cheese contains 175% of this amount. So we're going to translate into words what we're trying to find. We're trying to find 175% of 20 grams. So 175% obviously is going to be more than 20 grams because 100% is 20. So we do this in just the same way as before. 175 divided by 100 times 20. So we just translate from the words to math symbols, and we can just do that straight in the calculator. 175 divided by 100. Okay, you might better do that in your head, right? 1.75, and then times by 20 grams. So times by the 20 equals 35. So there we have it. We've got 35. So the answer is 35 grams of fat. Okay, so you can see that we can have percentages which are more than 100 and they still make sense. Obviously, if you're doing a test, then you can't get more than 100% of the questions correct. But in real life, we can always have more than 100% in the real world, right? And so we're going to convert these percentages to fractions and simplify our answers. So 150% is, well, it's actually 150 over 100. And we can actually simplify this if we want to by thinking of this as 15 over 10, which is actually 3 over 2. More useful, of course, is to have it as 1.5. So fraction's okay, but it might be more useful to have it as 1.5. This is 120%. So this is 120 over 100. So again, this could be 12 over 10, which would simplify to 6 over 5, but probably better to have it as 1.2. But the question does ask for it to change it into a fraction in its simplest terms. Then this last one's a little bit naughty, the last two, because we might have to go back to our previous picture. So I'll help you with this one. This is 100% plus 33 and 1/3%. Now you'll know that the 33 and 1/3% is actually 1/3. So we've got 1 whole 1 plus 1/3, and you should recognise that that can be made into 4/3. So this answer here is 4/3. And then the last one here, this 112.5%, you might be able to recognise that. That's 100% plus 12.5%. And if I just go back here, can you see the 12.5%? So there's the 12.5%. It's 1/8. So when we come back to here, this is 1 whole plus 1/8. So this is 1 and 1/8. So this is 9/8. So 9/8 goes in here. All right. So changing those percentages greater than 100 into fractions, that's the technique. But of course, nice to maybe have it as a decimal. And having those percentages as a decimal is exactly what we do down here, because to work this one out, we just go 175 divided by 100 times 152. Calculator. 175 divided by 100 times by 152. 266. And finally, 166 and 2/3. So this is how I'm going to type into the calculator. So that's the hard one, 166 and 2/3. So you can do 2 divided by 3 equals, plus 166 equals. There we go. And then this is times by 60. So it's divided by 100 times 60 equals 100. Okay, so that gives us some nice answers at the end there. And the reason why that is the case is because actually 166 and 2/3 is 1 whole 1 and 2/3. So we're trying to find 1 and 2/3 of 60. Okay. Let me just check my final answer. It's actually 100, not 106. I just wrote in the wrong number. So there we go. So that's all calculator skills for finding percentages of amounts.